All righty, we're going to go ahead and call to order the regular meeting of the Oakdale City Council, January 27th, 2026. Sarah, will you please take the roll?
Councilmember Moore?
Here.
Councilmember Morcom?
Here.
Councilmember Severson?
Here.
Councilmember Rich?
Here.
Mayor Zabel?
Here. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have a very full house with us here tonight to take part in something that's always very special in our community. Tonight, I get to administer the oath of office to two new firefighter paramedics and two new police officers. This is always such a cool tradition and a cool time for our city, for the families, and especially for those taking their oaths of office. You know, all of us every single day, we get to see the important role that our firefighters, paramedics, and our police officers play in our community. And especially in the last few years, we're also keenly aware of the dangers that they face in their jobs. The service they provide to our community is irreplaceable, and so to have an opportunity to have them all join us here at our city council meeting to show our thanks and appreciation is always a really cool opportunity. So a little bit about how this is going to go tonight. We have four in front of us. One at a time, I will call each individual up. You'll join me up front here. I'm going to encourage any family members, friends that you've brought with you to join us because we know that the work that you do takes all of you. We know all family and friends contribute to your success in these roles as well. So I want to encourage everybody to come with. And then everybody will have an opportunity to be pinned with your badges. And then we will have time for some pictures. We'll do pictures after each, how do we usually do this? We wait until pictures at the end after we've sworn in everybody, right?
I can't remember. However you
Where's
want to
Lori?
do it.
Where's our communications manager? Lori, after each individual? We'll do that. All right. And then at the end, we will invite all of our fire department up to take a group photo and then police department up to take a photo. Chris, reminder when we're doing the design for the new building, we need to make
Yeah, I
space
see
because
this.
we always crowd in.
Making a note.
So first up tonight, Daniel, Adam, Concha. Please join me up front. And any family friends, please join us too. I will come right down there.
Thank you.
Lori, feel free to position people where you want for photos. All right. Hi. Thank you for being here. All right, Daniel, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Daniel Adam Concha, firefighter paramedic for the city of Oakdale,
I, Daniel Adam Concha, firefighter paramedic for the city of Oakdale,
will support the Constitution of the United States,
will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the state of Minnesota,
the Constitution of the state of Minnesota,
and the ordinances of the city of Oakdale.
and the ordinances of the city of Oakdale.
I will do my duty to the best of my ability
I will do my duty to the best of my ability
and serve my commanding officers and subordinates
and serve my commanding officer and subordinates
with respect and dignity.
with respect and dignity.
I understand that there is a responsibility as a firefighter paramedic
I understand there's a responsibility for a firefighter paramedic
to serve with compassion,
to serve with compassion,
dedication,
dedication,
honor,
honor,
and integrity.
and integrity.
I will uphold the highest professional standards
I will uphold the highest professional standards
and proud traditions
and proud traditions
of the Oakdale Fire Department.
of the Oakdale Fire Department.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Right there. Take it away. All right, we will get one on center.
Count of three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
you
you.
for being here.
Thanks so much.
Liz Belisle. Come on up.
Thank you.
All right. Liz, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Liz Belisle, firefighter and paramedic for the city of Oakdale,
I, Liz Belisle, I'm sorry.
firefighter paramedic for the
Paramedic
city of Oakdale,
For the city of Oakdale,
will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the state of Minnesota,
Constitution of the state of Minnesota,
and the ordinances of the city of Oakdale.
and the ordinances of the city of Oakdale.
I will do my duty to the best of my ability
I will do my duty to the best of my ability
and serve my commanding officers and subordinates
and serve my commanding officers and my subordinates
with respect and dignity.
with respect and dignity.
I understand that there is a responsibility as a firefighter paramedic
I understand there is a responsibility as a firefighter paramedic
to serve with compassion,
to serve with compassion,
dedication,
dedication,
honor,
honor,
and integrity.
and integrity.
I will uphold the highest professional standards
I will uphold the highest professional standards
and proud traditions
and proud traditions
of the Oakdale Fire Department.
of the Oakdale Fire Department.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, count of three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Onnah Pomeroy, please join me. Like anybody else to join you? Come on up. All right, first of all, congratulations. All right, Onnah, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Onnah Pomeroy, do solemnly swear
I, Onnah Pomeroy, do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the state of Minnesota,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
and that I will faithfully, justly, and impartially,
that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly
discharge the duties of police officer,
one more time,
discharge the duties of police officer
discharge the duty of police officers
for the city of Oakdale, Minnesota,
for the city of Oakdale, Minnesota,
to the best of my judgment and ability,
to the best of my judgment and ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You guys coming up or are you gonna stay?
Come on, everybody. Come on. Short guy over here.
Count of three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
And Kevin Richardson. Joining you tonight?
Yeah.
Come on in. All right, Kevin, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Kevin Richardson, do solemnly swear
I, Kevin Richardson, do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
and that I will faithfully, justly, and impartially
and that I will faithfully, justly, and impartially
discharge the duties of police officer
discharge the duties of police officer
for the city of Oakdale, Minnesota,
for the city of Oakdale, Minnesota,
to the best of my judgment and ability.
to the best of my judgment and ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
All right, count of three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Kevin up here, let's do a group photo with the police department, since Kevin's already up here.
All right, count of three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
And fire department.
Are you gonna do one group with you guys and everybody?
We certainly can.
Both departments?
Well, thank you. Both departments
For the swearing.
You went first. I still messed it up.
Yeah, well, I'll make it.
That's a big issue.
You don't?
Yeah, we can make that happen.
No.
All right, count of three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Lori, can we get all the police, fire, and council together?
Yes.
One more, you guys.
All police, fire, and council.
Yeah.
Council, we can stay in the back.
Still not gonna see me.
Oh. Stand on a chair.
Wherever you fit. Fire or police want to come up here with us? Lori, direct us, please.
Yes, no, that makes perfect sense.
I'm following my leadership.
It's okay. Here, I'll go like this.
Danny, stand up.
Are we all in there?
Yes, you are.
Perfect.
Count of three. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh. Do you guys want to sign the four of you? Can you come over here and sign?
Got some pins from the kids.
Trust?
Grab a chair. Take a new one.
Rest of the job, you give out pins.
I was just gonna say.
I'm sorry, I don't know.
It's gonna be all
Yeah,
over.
you guys will figure it out.
Right?
Oh. You're on the way in.
Did Joe sign? Oh, no, you'll have Kevin.
Yeah.
Alrighty, we're gonna keep things rolling. Next up on our agenda is approval of our agenda. Council members, can I get a motion to approve the amended version in front of us?
So moved.
Motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion is second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And the agenda is adopted. Approval of minutes, 2 sets in front of us. First up, workshop meeting minutes, January 13th, 2026. My microphone back, huh? There we go. Oh, we're back. Let's do workshop meeting minutes, January 13th, 2026. Any changes or corrections? No. We'll look for a motion.
So moved.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And workshop minutes are adopted. Next up, regular meeting minutes, January 13th, 2026. Any changes or corrections here? We'll look for motion.
So moved.
There's a motion. Is there a second? Second. Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And those meeting minutes are adopted as well. We do have a public hearing in front of us tonight regarding City Project R2026-01. Mr. Bachmeyer, do you have a presentation for us?
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. Brian Bachmeyer, Consulting City Engineer for the City of Oakdale. Welcome the residents of the 2026 improvement, property owners adjacent to the 2026 improvement project. Tonight we are conducting 2 hearings, and I believe we'll start with some opening comments by the mayor, and then the city attorney will make some comments, and we'll start the hearing.
Found my script. Good evening. We're here tonight to consider the improvements and assessments for the 2026 Street Reconstruction Project. 2 separate public hearings will be held. The first hearing will review the 2026 Street Reconstruction Project. The second public hearing will review assessments and other financing related to this project. Notice of these hearings have been provided through the mail and published in the city's official newspaper. I ask that City Clerk Sarah Ludwig include the affidavit of publication of the hearing notices and the affidavit of mailing in the official record. Shortly, City Attorney Jim Thompson will provide important details relating to tonight's proceedings. Before we begin the hearings, I'd like to go over a few ground rules. First and foremost, Oakdale follows the golden rule. We ask everybody to treat one another with respect and courtesy. If you wish to speak once the public hearing is open, we ask that you come up to the podium, provide your name and address for the record, and please limit your comments to 3 minutes. If someone has already shared something similar, there's no need to repeat what has already been said. Unless there's any questions for council, this time I'm going to turn things over to City Attorney Jim Thompson to provide an outline of the procedures that will be followed.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of council, members of the public. As Mr. Bachmeyer said, there's going to be 2 hearings tonight. The first hearing is on the public improvement itself, and that's the time for any of the residents to come up and talk about the project. Any comments, any questions, that would be the appropriate time for that. After that hearing is closed, the council will make a decision on whether to go forward with the public improvement project. If they vote in favor of it, then the second hearing will be the special assessment hearing, and that would be your opportunity to come up and have say anything you want regarding the amount of the assessment on your individual property. Now, in order to preserve your right to challenge that assessment, you do have to file just a written document this evening with the court, with the council, and there are forms in the back, I believe, that you can fill out for that purpose. But it's important that you do fill that form out if you want to proceed with the next step in the challenge to the assessment, because if you don't do it here tonight, you will have given up your right to file an action in court. If you do file an appeal tonight, if the council, after closing the hearing, adopts the assessment, you then have to file an action in district court in order to perfect your rights, and that does have to be filed within 30 days of the adoption, so it's a very short time frame. So the 2 steps are, if you want to object to your assessment, file it in writing tonight with the city clerk, and then you'll have to proceed after that to file an action in court.
Thank you, Jim. Okay, I always just like to clarify the legal process. So if you disagree with the assessment and you want to preserve your legal ability to challenge it in court, I believe it's just a 1-page form, probably in the back of the room. By the time we close the public hearing, the second public hearing, you have to fill out that form and hand it to our city clerk to preserve your legal right to appeal your assessment. If you don't do that, process is over, right, Jim? And I will, I'll make one final call for any of those appeals before we close the second public hearing. So we'll offer a reminder for that if anybody wants to do that. At this time, I'm going to turn things back over to Brian, who will review the elements of the 2026 Street Reconstruction Project.
All right. Thank you, Mayor. Before I get started, I do have one introduction. Brad Swanson with Short Elliott Hendrickson is with me tonight. He'll help describe the project improvements. They're the consulting firm that did the design work. We'll be doing the design work and also be our project representative during construction. So just to get our bearings, this is the improvement area that we're talking about. Maybe you can see my cursor, maybe you can't, maybe not. But we have Greenway Avenue from Hudson Boulevard up to 7th Street, 2nd Street, Grafton, 4th, and 3rd Street Court. This neighborhood represents a little under 2 miles of city neighborhood streets. As mentioned, we are having 2 hearings tonight. The first hearing is the improvement hearing, where we'll talk about the why, what, and when. We'll describe the improvements. It'll be an opportunity for the property owners to testify before the council on those improvements that we're proposing. and then the council will deliberate and determine if the project should be ordered. It does require a 4/5 vote of the council. Because this project was initiated by the council, it will require a 4/5 vote. When we're done with the public improvement hearing, we'll move into the assessment hearing, and that's where we'll talk about how the project is financed. And so we'll describe the project financing, again, an opportunity for the property owners to testify about the proposed assessments, and then the council will deliberate and determine if they adopt the assessment rule. We talk about the public improvements, the why. Primarily, our objective of our public improvement program is to improve safety, not only for the motorists, but bikers and walkers. This project does include a sidewalk along Greenway Avenue. As part of our comp sidewalk plan, it identified this corridor as appropriate for a sidewalk to improve the safety for walkers. We also look at doing projects that contain our maintenance expenditures. The costs are increasing at an increasing rate down in this area to maintain these streets. Patching is very inefficient and ineffective. If we come back, we have to come back every year and continue patching. We're also looking at replacing water mains that have a history of repeated breaks. And I will say that there's been 20 water main breaks on 2nd Grafton and 4th, and 8 water main breaks on Greenway Avenue. So we have a total of 28 water main breaks over the last 30 or so years down in this area. We also look at replacing the LED lighting to make them more efficient. The current lighting down there is high pressure sodium, so we do replace those with LED lighting. I'm an engineer, so I have to have at least one graph in my presentation. So this is just a graph that kind of indicates along the bottom as pavement ages, starting when the street is brand new at 0 years old and going out to 40 years. The left column talks about the pavement condition when the street is brand new. It has a very high rating on a scale of 1 to 100. It has a scale of 100. Over time, you can see that it deteriorates, and it deteriorates at an increasing rate. On the right column is the cost of maintenance. And over time, you can see that the cost of maintenance increases and increases at an increasing rate. And where those two lines cross is a point of diminishing returns, where no matter how much we spend, we're going to continue to see the pavement conditions deteriorate. And for the Oakdale streets, we're finding, based on the data that we've been collecting, 28 years. A street that's more than 28 years old, we're actually spending more and getting less return on our investment. So that's when we start scheduling reconstruction in particular areas. All the streets down in this area are more than 30 years old. This is the pavement conditions around the community. We've gone out and rated all the streets. You can kind of see the green and the blue areas are the adequate and marginal and acceptable. And then you get into the purple and the red. That's where the poor conditions are. In this particular neighborhood, we are seeing a lot of poor pavement conditions. You can look, there are pockets throughout the community, and you'll see we have a 5-year program where we're targeting and reconstructing those neighborhoods over the next 5 years. And every year we update the capital improvement program to extend it out another year to continue maintaining the streets. And as I mentioned before, we do about 2 to 3 miles a year. The other objective we have is to make sure that we're not going to restrict access to the properties. And as pavement gets older, it becomes brittle, and so we have to start imposing weight restrictions in particular areas to make sure the spring, when the ground gets soft in the spring of the year, the pavement doesn't get damaged by heavy vehicles that are providing services to the abutting properties. And now we're starting to see the need to restrict the load limits down on these neighborhoods to 5 ton or less to try to preserve the streets. And that can affect service delivery to your property. Again, the summary of the streets included in the project: Greenway Avenue from Hudson to 7th, 2nd Street from Greenway to Grafton, Grafton to 4th, and 4th back to Greenway, and 4th Street from Grafton to Greenway, and 3rd Street Court. I wanted to mention that. But with that, I'm going to turn it over to Brad Swanson to kind of talk about the project, talk about how it's going to be done, and then the process.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council, members of the public. What you have before here is a picture of 2nd Street North looking west. This is indicative of all the pictures that you're going to see within the project site. Where the asphalt has been patched numerous times, the curb and gutters start to show a lot of wear and tear and not supporting a lot of vehicular traffic. This is 3rd Street Court North looking west. This particular area of 3rd Street Court North, the asphalt has degraded so much. There's more patching than there is original street. And again, it's served its life cycle. This is 4th Street North looking west. Again, more patching, more curb and gutter that is starting to degrade, and just more concerns about drainage and the lifespan of the remaining asphalt. This is Gravin Avenue North looking north. Again, more patching where most of the street is actually patching. This, of course, causes a lot of maintenance requests coming to Public Works, takes up a lot of their time just to preserve a street which has reached the end of its life cycle. This is Grafton Avenue North at Granada Avenue North. Again, more patching, curb and gutters starting to settle. This is Greenway Avenue North at 3rd Street North. This is showing the patches where the water main breaks, as Brian had indicated. In this area is numerous along the street, and the remaining asphalt is turning white. It's actually oxidizing, and it's starting to lose its structural integrity. The proposed improvements within this project, we're looking at tree removal. There'll be 50 in total. 50 of those are along Greenway Avenue for the sidewalk, and then 8 along the east side of Greenway that are too close to the water service lines that are going to be replaced. 27 along 2nd Street, Grafton, 3rd Street Court, and 4th Street. Of those, 10 are ash trees, which we need to remove as far as the forestry requirements to create a healthy habitat. 9 are too close to the water services, and 8 are in poor condition or too close to the curb. Along with these improvements, we'll be removing and replacing the asphalt, removing and replacing the curb and gutter. There'll be utility repairs. We'll replace the water main along 2nd Street, Grafton, 4th, and Greenway Avenue. The current water main that's installed there remains in service is between 58 and 59 years old. It's cast iron water main that has exceeded its life expectancy in those soils and is starting to have reoccurring breaks in there. Also, we'll be looking at the sanitary sewer. We have televising tapes. We've done inspection. Any place that is not structurally sound or it's leaking, we'll be repairing that as part of the process. The storm sewer repairs, again, we've inspected all the storm sewer manholes and all the catch basins, and we'll be doing miscellaneous repairs within the project area. Also, we'll be cleaning out areas by ponds and inlets and outlets. We'll be replacing the street lights with the city standard LED fixtures, installing a sidewalk along the west side of Greenway Avenue, street signing, evaluation, and replacement to ensure they're up to date as far as the retro reflectivity requirements, and private utility improvements, gas, electric, phone, and cable. We've already reached out to all the private utilities months ago, letting them know these improvements were going to be happening. Should they need to improve their own utilities, they'll be doing it at the same time to lessen the impact to the neighborhood. So the construction process will start out with removing the trees in preparation for all the work to be done within the area. Then the pavement reclamation, this process will come in with a machine, and they'll grind up the existing asphalt in preparation, moving that. But they will be grading that so it'll be open to vehicular traffic at all times right away after that process. They'll continue with the utility repair and replacement. Again, the majority of the area is going to receive new water main, new water services. A few others will have some storm sewer and sanitary repair. Curb removal and repair and replacement, that'll be done, and then the street light poles and LED fixtures will be upgraded. The base course pavement will be installed. So at this time, this is obviously towards the latter part of the project where the first layer of asphalt will be installed. The cast iron adjustments will be all the manholes will be raised to the surface. Both the storm sewer, sanitary, and water main will all have access through those castings. And then we'll do boulevard restoration. Once the curb and gutter and asphalt is in there, we'll bring in the new black dirt, place the sod and any trees that are requested as part of the project, and then the final wear course will be installed. So some of the construction issues that a lot of people have concern about as part of these processes are access. What I can say is all the residents will have access throughout the duration of the project. They will have access to their homes. However, there will be one exception to that is when crews are working directly in front of those homes. And when that happens, we do have site representatives out on site that will give timely notice to every resident if they aren't going to have access during the course of the day, but that'll only be a few hours. But otherwise, you'll be able to park in front of your property virtually every day throughout that. And also mail delivery. Obviously, the post office cannot get to the post boxes when we have to remove them in preparation to do all the utility improvements. So anyone that's affected in that way is going to have temporary cluster boxes put up in the area. And so the mail service will be continuous. There won't be any disruption to any mail service on that. Working hours are 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. Saturdays are 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. There's no work on Sundays. There will be site representatives out on site at all times. We always make sure that we kind of pride ourselves to make sure that we're available to each and every resident that's going to be impacted. If they have questions, concerns, we also provide phone numbers and emails if you want to contact us. Here's a site map of what the improvements are going to be. It's kind of probably a little hard to tell where you're sitting, but Greenway, the north-south street that has the horizontal dash line on it, that's going to have water main replacement, as well as the shorter dash line, which is the sidewalk that's going to be installed on the west side. The loop going around, which is 2nd Street, Grafton, and 4th Street, that again is going to have water main installed on that. The only street that is not going to have the water main installed on it is 3rd Street Court, which we believe that the water main is still in a functioning state right now. But we are going to replace all the curb and gutter and asphalt on that to make sure that we have some longevity in that area. As far as the process, just a little recap. November 5th, we had the neighborhood information. Feasibility report was presented to the council on December 9th. Tonight, we are having the public hearings. In May 10th will be the plan approval. Excuse me, in April, we'll award the contract. In May, we're going to start construction, with September being substantial completion date, with final completion is going to be in October. And with that, I'll pass it back to Brian.
Okay, with that, that's the end of the presentation. Now it's an opportunity for the council to hear testimony from the neighbors and have a discussion.
Thank you, Brian. At this moment, I'm going to go ahead and open the public hearing for the project improvements only. I invite property owners to comment on the proposed improvements. Please hold any comments or questions related to the assessments or the financing of this project until the assessment hearing, which will come next. At this time, if you'd like to comment as part of this public hearing, please step up to the podium, state your name and address for the record, and proceed with your comments. Seeing none, I'm going to go ahead and close the improvement hearing, bring it back up to council. A reminder for council, ordering the project requires a 4/5 vote. At this time, I'll go ahead and entertain a motion from City Council to order City Project 2026-01.
I move we waive reading and adopt Resolution 2026-08, ordering City Project R2026-01, the 2026 Street Reconstruction.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And Resolution 2026-08 is approved. Is there a presentation for the assessment or the financing part? Okay. Brian, I guess it doesn't say that there's a presentation on here, but let's go ahead and do that.
Okay.
Would you walk us through the financing and the assessment portion, Brian?
Okay, so this is the second hearing where we talk about the project financing. So we're talking about how the project is being financed. So again, we'll talk about the financing, property taxes, defining assessments, assessment policies, another opportunity for the property owners to discuss the assessments to their particular property, and then it'll be turned back to the council for them to decide on the project. As it relates to the assessments to the property owners, the assessment is based on the front footage of the property, and we measure the width of the lot at the building setback line. And most of the lots along Greenway Avenue are 80 feet in width, and most of the lots on 2nd and Grafton and 4th are 70 feet. So there's generally two different size lots, residential lots. So it's you're either based on 70 feet or 80 feet. So, and it's capped at 80 feet. So it's the width of the lot up to 80 feet. Except for the commercial industrial property, we had to cap the width of the lot at, based on the property value, determine how much frontage we could assess. And there are two assessment rates. So it's $80 a foot for the residential, and then $115 a foot for the commercial property. And there is the one commercial property on the corner of Hudson Boulevard and Greenway Avenue. The estimated cost of the project is $6.6 million, $16,560. Of that, special assessments total $910,315, which is about 14% of the total project costs are being assessed to the property owners. Another portion of the project, the sidewalk, we did get a federal grant for the sidewalk, so there's $400,000 coming from a federal grant. Our share of the state gas tax is also funding a portion of this project to the tune of $1,787,134. There's also utility system replacement funds, city funds that are replacing the water main and making the storm sewer improvements and the sanitary sewer improvements, $2,243,240. We also have storm sewer funds of $300,000, street improvement funds of $300,000, and then the city will have to issue debt in the amount of $675,871 to make up the difference. Special assessments are generally can be described as a loan to the property. They're spread over a 10-year period. The interest rate is 2% over whatever the city sells the bonds for. And the first payment would start in May of 2027. You can pay it up to the October of 2026 without accruing any interest, but any payments after October of 26, you do accrue interest. You can pay off the principal at any time by coming to City Hall, and there also, if it creates a financial hardship, there is an application form in the back of the room that you can fill out. There are some criteria that you have to meet in order to meet the hardship deferral. These are just two charts that generally show the difference between a 70-foot assessment and an 80-foot assessment over a 10-year period. I'll just read off. Generally, you pay 1/10 the principal every year, and then interest on the unpaid balance. So if you have a 70-foot lot, that first year payment would be $560 plus interest of $389, so it'd be $349 would be your first year. The last year of the assessment is 2036. The payment would be the $560 principal and $32.20 of interest, so for a total of $592. So with that, that's the presentation on the financing for the project and opportunity for the council to hear from the residents.
Thank you, Brian. I actually have a question on this one. For the hardship deferral, is there a timeline associated with when residents can apply for that? It's obviously not tonight like it is with appealing the assessment. You don't have to have it in by a certain time, but is it just by that first October date?
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it is, as long as you apply for before the October, the date of
October
the first.
15th, 2026 date?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. At this time, I'm going to go ahead and open the public hearing related to the assessments and financing of this project. I invite property owners to comment on the proposed assessments. Just a reminder, those wishing to appeal their assessment or preserve their legal right to do so must fill out the assessment appeal form located on the back counter. Corey, wave your hand. There you go. They're back there. A reminder, this form must be submitted to the city clerk prior to the close of the assessment hearing. And I'll do one final call for those if there are any forms before we go ahead and close that. At this time, I'm going to open the public hearing. Anybody wishing to comment on the assessment or the proposed financing, step up to the podium. Please state your name and address for the record and proceed with your comments.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Al Stroshine, 19 Greenway, a resident of 33 years at that address, but a resident of Oakdale since 1961, long before this was a city. I live on the corner of Greenway and Hudson Boulevard, and as a result of the Goal Line project, the curbs and aprons are already in place. They've already done most of the storm sewer components are in place, as well as a section of the water main. I would assume some kind of adjustment is in order, being these were paid for by the Goal Line, state of Minnesota, and the federal government. And this is up through about 25% of 33 Greenway, the property just north of me. On the other side of the street, low voltage integrators, they're done up past their service entrance. I would expect a minimum an adjustment. Any thoughts?
Under council's adopted procedures, we don't reply to questions presented. We do refer them back to our city staff or Brian. Brian can certainly get back with you with the answer, but we don't take questions in the moment.
I have had this discussion with Brian once already.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
You bet. Are there any other individuals that would like to speak under the public hearing tonight?
Hi, David Olson, low voltage integrators, 6592 Hudson Boulevard. I'd like to echo Al's sentiments as well with, seems like some of the construction's already been completed with the Gold Line. Like you said, our service entrance has already been reconnected. We've already gone through, the heartache of, the disruptions and stuff, and still not done. There is a sidewalk too that's probably 90% completed on our property as well. So again, hoping that that'll be taken into account, with the assessment, so.
Thank you.
And, thank you for the information too on the form, filling that out, so we'll do that as well, so.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Is there anybody else that would like to speak under the public hearing tonight? All right. Has everybody filled out their forms or received a form from the city clerk? All right. We're going to go ahead and close the public hearing. We'll still be able to get those, it looks like 2 assessment appeals in. Sarah will take those from you when they are complete. At this time, I'm going to go ahead and close the public hearing, bring it back up to council for consideration. Council members, do we have any questions or comments regarding the proposed assessments? All right, I will look for a motion.
Make a motion to waive reading and adopt resolution 2026-09, adopting the assessment role for City Project R2026-01, 2026 Street Reconstruction in the amount of $910,315.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any final comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And resolution 2026-09 is adopted. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
Wow, 7:45 and we're just at open forum now. We're going to go ahead and keep moving with open forum. Before we open up the floor to any comments, I do have one proclamation recognizing the city's commitment to volunteerism in the city of Oakdale. Whereas the city of Oakdale firmly believes that the values of compassion, empathy, and community support are the foundation of a united and harmonious society, fostering connections that transcend differences. And whereas the strength and prosperity of our cities, towns, and villages are based in the selflessness of its residents to serve and uplift one another. And whereas we acknowledge the profound impact that can be achieved when we extend a helping hand to our neighbors, especially those of diverse backgrounds, lifting them up and collectively working to improve lives. And whereas we nurture a culture of giving within our cities, emphasizing that volunteerism is not just a duty, but a source of personal fulfillment and community strength. And as we work side by side with and learn from each other, mutual understanding increases, misconceptions can be corrected, and new friendships are built. And whereas we urge all citizens to care for one another, volunteer, and engage in acts of service and kindness that contribute to our city's betterment and its inhabitants and well-beings, regardless of background or belief. Therefore, I, Kevin Zabel, Mayor of Oakdale, Minnesota, hereby proclaim that the City of Oakdale commits to promoting volunteerism, leveraging justserve.org to make it easier for residents to find and engage in volunteer opportunities, and regularly acknowledge and celebrate the contributions of volunteers. This is a cool proclamation. This is new for us. As the city council and our city staff have been working for the last few years on our strategic plan, one area that we recognize that we needed some formalization and help is regarding volunteerism in our community. We have so many amazing volunteers already, amazing groups in our community that do so much good. And so we really just wanted to figure out a way for the city to kind of actively encourage that and identify partners that might be able to help us with that. JustServe.org, or the organization Just Serve behind that, is a really cool organization that provides a platform to participate in communities and any groups within those communities to add and promote your volunteer opportunities to a really broader, a much broader audience. And so that's kind of a cool opportunity. We'll be communicating with community groups in our city, letting them know that this is a free option for them to get the word out about their volunteer opportunities, hopefully bring more volunteers in and really grow their impact in how they're supporting our community. So we're really excited to partner with Just Serve and get the word out amongst all of our organizations in our community, because we know they already do so much great work and hope that they can do even more for our community, or for our city. So thank you to Just Serve for that partnership. Still under open forum, if there's anybody joining us that would like to talk about anything that's on their mind, please feel free, similar to the public hearing rules, step up to the podium, state your name and address for the record. Please try and confine your comments to 3 minutes or so. Please feel free.
Patrick Thibodeau, 6293 25th Street North. Here representing the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and representing the Just Serve organization. And I just wanted to step forward and thank you for adopting Just Serve. We look forward to partnering with the city and commend this council for being a leader amongst the cities of Minnesota in volunteerism, which we see as a way of bringing people together and taking care of some of the issues we've seen bubbling up recently. Serving one another is a great way to just go around doing good, and we thank you.
Thanks, Patrick. Is there anybody else that would like to speak under open forum tonight? Seeing none, we'll keep things moving. Move into our consensus motions, non-controversial items on our agenda tonight. In front of us, we have A through D. Council members, were there any that we wanted to pull for individual consideration? Councilmember Moore, did you have a question?
No, I'm good now. Thank you.
I saw your hand out. I was like, what? Oh, okay.
Thank you so much.
Council members, can I get a motion to approve consensus motions A through D as presented?
So moved.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And those motions are adopted. Next up, we'll check in with our advisory boards and commissions. Only one met since our last meeting, our tree board. Councilmember Moore, you are their liaison. How's our tree board doing?
Indeed, I am. Our tree board is doing great work, I will have to say. In our meeting, we discussed the 2026 work plan, which this year includes an opportunity for them to explore some new ideas for programming this year. I think they're really excited to just to kind of, I don't know, see what's out there, see what they can do. And that was wonderful. We also shared our appreciation for our outgoing chair, Nick Cantola, and wish him well, and voted in a new chair and vice chair.
Cool.
So yeah, a lot of good things in the tree board.
Is Nick done with the tree board? Did his term end?
His term ended, and Nick did, he has some other things going on in his life, which is wonderful and exciting, and that means he is done on the tree board. So we are losing an incredible mind, an expert in that area, and he did promise/threaten, but promise to be involved in all of the upcoming events. So we will still have him as a resource and as a part of our network, and that's wonderful. But we wish him all the best.
And that means the tree board has a vacant seat. So if you're interested in serving on the tree board or any of our commissions, you can visit our website, oakdalemn.gov, and fill out an application and join one of our citizen-led boards.
Yeah.
Always got to get that plug in there.
Right? We'd love to have you.
Nothing under awarded bids tonight, so we'll move into staff reports. Community Development has a number of items for us. Luke, welcome. Would you please walk us through the first item?
Yes, thank you, Mayor and Council. So I'll get my presentation on the screen here in just a moment. So if you recall, the city has been working over the past few months, several months, with a project team consisting of Don Tyson, the city's representative, BKV Group, and Cross Anderson Construction on plans to expand City Hall, or I should say expand the police department facility and remodel City Hall. So as Oakdale continues to grow, the city needs modern facilities, additional space to better serve our community. And based on the size of the building expansion, a formal site plan amendment is required. And the city is going through the same process that any developer would go through. We did this with the Public Works facility a couple of years ago, if you recall. So the expansion here, the existing building shown on the left side of the screen is in blue. It's approximately 17,000 square feet. And the expansion, which is shown on the right side of the screen in red, the red outline there, that's about 27,000 square feet. The total building size would be approximately 44,000 square feet. The building expansion would slightly push the building a little bit further south, a little bit closer to 15th Street, but that setback distance would be about 85 feet. The building would not extend any further east, closer to Hadley than where it is right now. So currently there are two existing accesses off of Hadley Avenue. So the one here on the north, and then the southern entrance there where my cursor is. And then there's a new proposed access off 15th Street, which will function as the primary entrance for the public visiting City Hall and the police department. So as mentioned, there are the two existing accesses off Hadley, and both will remain as part of the project. The north access off Hadley will remain as the entryway for the public visiting Walton Park. The south access off Hadley would be restricted to city staff and police vehicles with a gated system. The new access off 15th Street will contain 49 parking spaces for the public. And I do want to note that engineering staff reviewed the new access off 15th Street, and they determined that the projected volume, vehicle traffic rather, with the new entrance, the new parking area, that there's not a need for a turn lane off 15th Street there. Excuse me. The overall number of parking spaces in this portion of Walton Park will be reduced from 281 down to 243. However, the total number of parking spaces meets and exceeds the city's zoning requirements for parking, which are a minimum of 110 parking spaces. By and large, parking here at Walton Park and City Hall, it's pretty underutilized with a few exceptions throughout the year, such as Summerfest and baseball, softball tournaments. Additionally, there are other parking facilities throughout Walton Park that will remain. So in terms of trees and landscaping, tree preservation plan and landscaping plan, formal plans have been submitted, provided. 64 trees will be removed. However, 103 new trees will be planted as part of the landscaping. There will be additional shrubs throughout the site as well. Tree replacement and landscaping requirements are met. When we look at our lighting requirements, lighting cannot exceed 0.5 foot candles at any property line. And the photometric plan that was submitted shows that the maximum illumination along the two property lines, the southern property line and along the east, does not exceed 0.2 foot candles. So the project team did a very good job in terms of minimizing light and impacting neighboring properties. So that requirement is met. We have two new stormwater features here serving the expansion in the building. So there will be a detention basin located on the west side of the facility, as well as an underground system north of the facility. So the next few slides are some elevations and renderings. I just want to touch on the building height. At 36 feet, the tallest part of the building does not exceed the 40-foot requirement. And in terms of exterior building design standards, the zoning code requires that the building consists of at least 70% Class 1 materials, and the architectural plans that this is more than sufficiently met with about 95% Class 1 materials, brick, metal panels, and glass, and the remaining Materials will consist of stained precast concrete panel and existing masonry. So those design standards have been met. Whoops. So here are just a few more elevations of the building on the screen. I'll show the renderings in just a moment. So here's a look at the southeast corner of the building. I just want to point out 15th Street there where my cursor is, and then Hadley Avenue. So this image shows the east and north sides of the building. Again, the existing southern entrance off Hadley Avenue will be restricted with a gated system for police vehicles and city staff vehicles. This image shows the proposed access off 15th Street and the new public entrance. Notice the increased amount of glass on the building just to bring in additional natural lighting. And this image is a view looking over the Park Pavilion showing the west side of the building, and just notice the additional pedestrian infrastructure that will help better connect City Hall Police Department with the rest of Walton Park. This image shows the public entrance of the building and as well as the memorial. And here's the final image that we have. And just a couple notes before we conclude here is that the city did hold 2 voluntary open house events during the week of December 15th to provide the public with information on this project. The city also maintains a dedicated webpage on our city website that we encourage folks to visit just to learn a little bit more about this project. The Planning Commission reviewed the site plan amendment back on January 8th, and they recommended approval. And staff recommends approval of the request as detailed in the staff report on file. And we do have a few conditions in the resolution. So this is Resolution 2026-07, which is found in the agenda packet. So 4 conditions of approval. So the first one is provide additional details on the methods of screening for rooftop utilities. Number 2, add a roof to the external trash enclosure area. Number 3, obtain approval of the site civil construction plans by the city engineer. And then number 4, obtain permits and approvals from the watershed district for stormwater provisions. So with that, we have Don Tyson as part of the project management project team here. If you have any questions, and staff can answer questions also. Thank you.
Thank you, Luke. Council members, any questions for Luke? How about any questions for Don? Seeing none, let's just hop right into the action. Who would like to make the motion?
I'll make the motion, Mr. Mayor. I move we waive reading and adopt Resolution 2026-07, approving a site plan amendment for 1584 Hadley Avenue North with conditions included in the attached resolution.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and second. Any final comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution 2026-07 is adopted. Next up, City Project P2026-01. Mr. Getzlav, are you going to walk us through this?
Yes, Mayor, and I'm going to be joined by Corey Tietz, our Public Works Director.
Our fine furniture. Come on.
Well, we're moving out, right? You guys packing stuff around, right?
That's going to be your office chair, though, isn't it?
It's not tall enough. I like to be higher up.
Okay.
Mayor, I'll also note that we have Hannah Dunn here as well, who put a lot of the work into this item, and just recognize that there's a lot of questions and feedback, and I think those all make this project stronger and future projects as we move forward. So we appreciate that feedback. I'm going to go and kick it off with just a little bit of background, and then Corey's going to add in, and then we'll open it up for any questions. So again, this is for the city projects for the parks, 2601 Tanner's Lake, 2602 Tower Park, and 2605 Golfview Park. These improvements are the results of the park system plan, the 18-month effort to define our park system growth for the next 20 years, including short, mid, and long-term priorities. It also included concept plans for every park and cost estimates as well. The selected parks for 26 Tanners includes relocation and construction of a new playground with an accessible path, turf grass restoration at the site of the old playground, pickleball and tennis court improvements, and construction of a parking lot off Glenbrook Avenue North and improving ball field drainage. A Tower Park, that includes replacement of playground equipment, adding a small seating area, construction of an accessible paved path to the playground, and completing turf grass restoration on the hill. Golfview Park, replacing and expanding the playground and adding a concrete plaza seating. To approach these projects for 2026, the city is looking at one consultant to do that work to provide some efficiencies. That consultant, prior to final design, they would do additional engagement, and we've got some feedback from council on who to engage and how we'd like to structure that. And the plans would come back to Parks and Rec Commission and then to council for final approval before moving forward. One additional thing that's ongoing right now is we have some grants that are pending. One is for Tanner's Lake, the 3M PFAS settlement, that if we were to receive that grant, and we've been told spring, which is when we get seasons, it's always hard to pin down when that we'll actually get that news. But if we're successful in that, that would be for natural resource habitat, shoreline improvements that were identified in the park system plan, as well as the parking lot improvements are also in there. So there's the ability to maybe offset some of the costs that are there. So in anticipation of that, we would come back and do a separate change order on this contract to design service to support those efforts if successful. Given the timing, the need for additional engagement, the complications with that grant, as well as some others that the city is pursuing, Tower Park and Golfview Park would go first, ensure that they're constructed in 2026. Tanner's Lake Park would begin its engagement, take a little bit longer of a path, get started in construction as early as possible, but would be finished in the 2027 timeframe. With that, we went through quite an extensive process here to get to the LHB recommendation. We had a solicitation go out. We had 9 proposals. We reviewed those proposals, interviewed 4 of the top teams. We included criteria in there such as understanding of the proposal objectives, qualification and experience of the firm and the key personnel assigned, work plan and schedule, and cost. At the conclusion of that, staff recommended LHB for this project. They're a multidisciplinary team that augments the resources that city staff has. They have experience completing similar projects. They have the appropriate licensed professionals in landscape architecture, civil, structural, electrical engineering, surveying, geotechnical, and cost consultant. In addition, their cost proposal was about middle of the pack as far as cost competitiveness, a total cost of $274,000. Now, when we put the CIP together, we did build in design costs. We had an assumption up to $450,000, which is 20% of the project. So this does leave some more wiggle room within the project going forward here. So with that, I'm just going to turn over to Corey. Wanted to say a few words about the engagement and sort of the bigger picture approach now that we're, at a big milestone for council, moving from project specific to delivering a program of park improvements.
Yeah, thank you, Andy. Mayor, members of the council, we just wanted to touch on, point out for both the council and members of the public, we're kind of going through a landscape shift in how we did project improvements or park improvements in the past to how we're going to do them will be moving forward. So obviously, as you know, and many members of the community know, community development team in the city spent almost 3 years developing the Parks Master Plan that was just recently adopted last fall. So through that plan, there's a lot of question about we see a design in that plan, and it's important to remember that that's conceptual and a very high-level schematic of what the park could look like. It gave us a guide of where we need to go. So through this project, all of these projects, and as we move forward, that doesn't preclude us from having to do further architect work and engineering work that really defines what that site will actually look like. And where the integration of that will come in and is through lots of community engagement programs and then discussions with commission, the various different commissions, DRC, and obviously the council here. So, staff heard the feedback from the council on the importance of community engagement with that stuff. So happy to say through that evaluation, one part of this firm offered numerous different opportunities. So there's a minimum of 16 different engagement opportunities for these parks, whether they're, it's a different surveys, some online stuff, some yard signs, and also direct on-site one-on-one engagement with the community at a minimum of one for each project, and Tanner's is currently scheduled for 2 opportunities for that stuff. Again, that also includes the engagement participation for the various commissions and then council different meetings and stuff like that. So wanted to make sure we pointed out that distinction here as we move forward. There will be, while we have the Parks Master Plan, there's still going to be the ongoing need to do some further work. Schedule for this, this is a very big project, especially with the Tanner's component of it. We'll engage our behind-the-scenes work has already started, and we'll continue moving forward with our project kickoff meetings, assuming approval tonight. And then we'll see really the project kickoff again in the background as soon as next month here in February, and continue on. Engagements start as soon as, depending on weather, April, May for a couple of the parks. Golfview Tanner's would get done this spring, or I'm sorry, Golfview and Tower will get done.
Got real excited.
I know.
Yeah.
Just about. I caught myself. Yeah, sorry. I caught myself. Those will get done in 2026. Tanner's we will see activity there in 26, but because of the complexity of the scope of work that we're looking at doing and that you members of the council approved through that master plan, that will have to extend into 2027. We have a very conservative schedule right now with optimistic that hopefully, depending on weather conditions and stuff like that, there's a good opportunity that we'll be able to move that time frame up. So just wanted to point out a few of those various things, and certainly make sure members of the council and the community know that we will have a lot of engagement, more engagement that we've seen from both the elected body and the general public. So with that, happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Corey. Thank you, Andy. Council members, any questions for staff? We can take questions first. Seeing none. All right. Who would like to make the motion?
I can make a motion to authorize the mayor and city administrator to enter into an agreement for final design and construction administration services between the city of Oakdale and LHB Inc. for an amount not to exceed $274,000 for city projects P 2026-01, Tanner's Lake Park, P 2026-02, Tower Park, and P 2026-05, Golfview Park.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second. Wanted that.
Fight over it. There's motions there, and there's a second. Any final comments?
Yeah, if I could, Mayor.
Councilmember Morcom.
Just to say that I'm starting my 4th year on the council, and from day one, this was a priority to get our parks back to where we want our community to have them. So the engagement, the Master Parks Plan, the work Hannah did, the work Community Development did, the Parks and Rec Commission, everybody involved, Corey and the Public Works team. This is really exciting. Been talking to the residents for 4 years about this, and we're going to get there. So thank you. I'm excited that we're here.
Thank you, Councilmember Morcom. Any other questions or comments?
I do.
Councilmember Moore.
Well, we all know that I came from the Parks and Rec Commission before I was elected to council, so I echo your sentiments. I'm so excited to see this move forward. Tanner's Lake became something that I was really excited about and interested in the park renovation opportunity. So I am just delighted that we get to sit here today and start taking action on all of the hard work that's been put into this so far. So thank you all.
Thank you, Councilmember Moore. Any other comments? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And I'll be voting no. That authorization is given 4-1. Okay, a couple more actions related to this agenda item. Who wants to make that motion?
I can keep going. Make a motion to authorize the city administrator to approve amendments such as term extensions to the contract with LHB Inc. for city projects P 2026-01 Tanner's Lake Park, P 2026-02 Tower Park, and P 2026-05 Golfview Park, provided that they do not exceed the contract dollar amount.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Final comments. Actually, I do have a question on this one for Chris. Next few months, do we anticipate any changes that while you're in while you're down at part-time?
Yep.
Do we need to change the language to authorize you or your designee?
No, Mr. Mayor, City Council, one of the things I'm keeping is all contracts, all legal authorities.
Okay.
That kind of thing. So I'll be able to do that electronically. Not a
Got
big
it.
deal.
Perfect. Thank you for that. Motion second, a little bit of conversation. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that authorization is given. Last item.
I'll make a motion to authorize the city administrator to approve individual change orders and purchase orders up to $100,000 for cities projects P 2026-01 Tanners Lake Park, P 2026-02 Tower Park, and P 2026-05 Golfview Park, provided that they are within the approved CIP budget.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Final comments. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that authorization is given as well. Thank you both.
Thank you.
One more item under community development tonight, amendments to Chapter 25. Luke's back. Luke, welcome. Please walk us through these changes.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. So, no PowerPoint slides, just a verbal presentation. I'll keep it as brief as I can. So recall that a comprehensive update to the zoning code was adopted back in July of last year. So after 6 months of being able to implement the new code, the city has identified a handful of corrections, clarifications, and minor policy changes to consider. So the first of which is a change to the residential district, the R2 district to be specific, and we're proposing to remove townhomes and courtyard cottages from the R2 district. And this is intended to create just a more intentional transition between the R2 district and other higher density residential districts. No properties would be made non-conforming if this adjustment is made. The second is changes to the B2 Business Campus District. We are proposing to allow light manufacturing as an allowed principal use, and the intention here is to broaden allowed uses there and better match market conditions. Another change to the B2 district is to increase the exterior design requirements for industrial type uses there. So we would require 70% Class 1 materials, so brick, glass, stone on the exteriors there, just due to the visibility of the sites there that are zoned B2 because they are along interstate frontages. The next change is related to additional garages and oversized accessory buildings. And we want to restore specific review criteria for additional garages and the accessory structures from the old code. It was a technicality. Things didn't get migrated over. We're also proposing some new standards to regulate the scale of these structures. We're proposing a maximum building size of 1,500 square feet, maximum height of 25 feet, a driveway requirement for second garages, and we want to clarify that no more than one oversized accessory structure can be allowed through the conditional use permit process. Other updates we are proposing include fixing an incorrect reference in the zoning map amendment section of the code, clarifying setback requirements for accessory structures, and clarifying that electronic signage in non-residential districts require a conditional use permit. So the Planning Commission, they held the required public hearing for the zoning code amendments back on January 8th, and they recommended approval. So staff recommends approval of the ordinance, and we find it to be consistent with the city's comprehensive plan. And staff is recommending approval of the amendments. Happy to answer questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Luke. Council members, any questions for Luke? Okay. I have one amendment I'm going to offer. So let's get a motion and a second on the floor, and then I can propose that amendment, and then we'll see where that goes. Sound like a plan? Who would like to make that motion? The first one.
I'll make it. Mr. Mayor, I move we waive reading and adopt ordinance number 959, amending the Code of Ordinances for the City of Oakdale, Chapter 25, relating to allowed uses in the R2 and B2 zoning districts, criteria for electronic signage and accessory structures, exterior design standards for the B2 zoning district, and a correction to the application review procedures.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Conversation. So one amendment that I'm proposing is in the accessory building section, for staff's reference 25-09-201, we outline the conditional use permit process if a property wants an accessory building larger than what's allowed in the city code. The number provided is 200 square feet. Within that, there are, I believe, 8 conditions ranging from building features, et cetera. So height of garage door, I think placement, may not be subdivided, that type of stuff. One of the conditions raised some concerns with me, particularly it was in section D3, condition G. Access to a private garage must be by a driveway surface with bituminous concrete, brick, Class V, or other materials as approved by the city. My concern here is, obviously, we all know a lot of parcels in Oakdale, a lot of different shapes, sizes, et cetera. We have a number of residential properties totaling more than 300 feet in length. While I understand the intent with this, the application is where I think we run into some problems. You know, for a lot of those long, skinny lots we have in our, I think they're probably R2 districts. You know, if somebody is to put a shed at the back of their lot, you'd have to have a driveway that goes to it all the way for possibly up to 300 feet. On those long, skinny lots, you have very narrow side setbacks, so it may have to encompass an entire side yard to accommodate that driveway just to have an accessory building at the back of the lot. I'm not saying this is a bad idea. I think we need to clarify maybe some intent items, put some parameters around why installing a driveway would be necessary. Right now, I just don't think it's defined, and I worry that it may disincentivize property owners from making improvements to their property. So I'm going to offer an amendment striking section 25-09201, sections D, 3G from the proposed language. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any questions on that amendment specifically? Jim?
Just one, Mr. Mayor, and I think we should include that in renumbering paragraph 8 to paragraph G.
Yeah, okay.
Just so it's clear.
Adding that one little clerical item in there as well. Any questions on my proposal or why?
Well, if I could.
Yeah, Councilmember Morcom.
Yeah, and just a clarification, right, that even without the driveway requirement in there, it would still go to planning commission, it would still go to council, it would still have public hearings. So in the end, we're not a cookie cutter town, and I kind of like that about Oakdale. So this allows options for review and common sense instead of just earmarking something that could be so expensive it would just price a project out of someone's out of reach.
Any additional comments? Seeing none, all those in favor of the amendment say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And the amendment is adopted. So we're back to the underlying motion. All of that language in Ordinance 959 as amended. Any other changes people want to put forward? Okay. Jim, we made an amendment. Do we need?
Just to vote on the main motion, no?
All right. So the motion in front of us is Ordinance 959, all that subsequent language as amended. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that ordinance as amended is adopted. One more action regarding title and publishing title and summary.
And I'll move we waive reading and adopt Resolution 2026-10, authorizing publication of ordinance number 959 by title and summary.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Final comments. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that resolution 2026-10 is adopted. All right, let's check in with our city attorney. Mr. Thompson, what do you got for us tonight?
Nothing, Mr. Mayor, members of the council, but happy to answer questions.
Anybody have questions for Jim? All right, let's check in with our city administrator. Chris, you have one item on the agenda. Is there anything besides that one you'd like to walk us through?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for reminding me. I seem to forget that sometimes. Thank you.
Whoops.
We do have Don Tyson here, the owner's rep. He will discuss this. It's really a legal necessity to do this, but I'll let Don explain if you don't mind.
All right, Don, welcome. Please walk us through this agenda item.
Thank you, Mayor. Evening, Council. Thank Chris. So 1 year ago, we released the request for proposals to hire an architect for the police expansion of City Hall remodel project. Seems like yesterday, but it was 1 year ago. In the past year, the design team has been working with city leadership from the police department, administration, and you in several workshops, and we now have a project to begin the bidding process. The city is going to utilize a construction manager at risk delivery method, and Krause Anderson is the construction manager at risk for these projects. The bidding process starts with Krause Anderson issuing a request for qualifications to pre-qualify contractors, and that was approved about a month ago. The process for bid package 1 has been completed, and tonight we're recommending approval of 52 contractors over 7 different work scopes to be pre-qualified for bidding. Bid package 1 includes work scope items that we need to start the project on time, or they have a long delivery timeframe for fabrication and delivery of those materials. Tonight, we're also recommending then approval to authorize Cross Anderson to solicit bids for bid package 1. We expect that we'll present those bid results for approval and a guaranteed maximum price agreement with the city at your March 24th meeting. So I said bid package 1, so there will be a bid package 2. Bid package 2 for those remaining work scopes, that includes everything that's left from plumbing to painting. We plan to request approval to pre-qualify contractors for that package at your February 10th meeting, approve contractors and authorize bidding at your April 14th meeting, and then present bid results and an amendment to the guaranteed maximum price agreement at your May 26th meeting. So this all leads up with your approvals tonight to a groundbreaking in early June and the start of a construction project that's going to result in a great city campus for residents and staff. So with that, Council, I certainly stand for questions.
Council members, any questions for Don? How about questions for Chris? Who wants to make the action?
I can make a motion to approve the police expansion and City Hall remodel project pre-qualified subcontractor list for bid package 1 per the letter from Kraus Anderson dated January 21st, 2026, and authorize Kraus Anderson to solicit bids for bid package 1.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion a second. Final comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And that approval is given.
Thank you.
Thank you, Don. Chris, anything else for us tonight?
No, sir.
All right. Council presentations. Anybody want to go first as I sift through all my paper up here and look for mine?
Yeah, I can go.
Councilmember Morcom.
Yeah, I just want to reiterate with Just Serve, right? That's the program, the volunteer program. I am so excited about that coming online. It's for anybody in this community, right? It could be a church, it could be a civic group like the Lions Club, it could be for the Scouts, it could be for schools, but it gives people a chance to share what the needs are and then people to connect and go be a part of the solution. So I hope we do a lot of public marketing and sharing of what that is when it comes out, but I'm glad we're on board, and volunteerism is a really important solution to all of what's going on in the world right now.
Absolutely.
And that's all I had.
All right, thank you. Anybody else have any council presentations?
No, I just echo Councilmember Morcom's comments on that facility. That's going to be great. I think it's fantastic for our city. So.
Thank you, Gary.
Yeah, I would just like to say I got to spend some time with our fire department last week. And I was so unbelievably impressed what these individuals do just behind the scenes for this community. And it is truly astounding. And I really, really enjoyed tonight for them to get some very public recognition for the job that they are doing all day. So that was really, really neat to be a part of. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Rich. Councilmember Moore.
I'm the only one that didn't have anything today. You know I can talk into a microphone, but no, I just think everything's going so wonderfully in this community, and I love being a part of it. How about that for a council presentation?
Love it. I have a few updates from our city staff that they wanted me to share. First off, City of Oakdale outdoor ice rinks and warming houses at Eastside and Walton Parks have reopened for regular hours as of Sunday, January 25th. We've been on a roller coaster, weather roller coaster as of late. I think I saw for this weekend like 30-degree temperatures. So I mentioned all that. The availability of rinks and warming houses changes, it seems like, daily. We encourage everybody to check out the city website and our social media for the current status, or, just pop by, see if there's if the warming houses are open, et cetera. But our public works crews are doing everything they can to keep those rinks in good condition. It's just Mother Nature's throwing us some curveballs, it seems like, every few days. So it can be kind of hit or miss. Just 3 days remain. If any residents still have their natural Christmas trees, at this point, just take it into your backyard and throw a match into it. I mean...
Do that.
Yeah, there's information on our city website if you still have your natural Christmas tree at your house. My goodness, I hope not. It's end of January. Are you planning an outdoor event this summer? Ooh, this is a great reminder. Rentals for Oakdale picnic shelters for the 2026 season, which runs April through October, can be made online through the city website. Reservations are first come, first served. Oakdale residents receive a discounted rate. Shelters book up pretty quick. We have a lot of groups and a lot of families in our community that love using those picnic shelters for gatherings, birthdays, graduations. So if you are looking at your calendar and eyeing a certain date, do not delay. Please go book those on our city website, oakdalemn.gov or oakdalefun.com. That's the recreation page. Yeah, oakdalefun.com. Online reservation system, or you can also call the Discovery Center, and our recreation department would be happy to help you out. But hop like a bunny, you want to lock down those dates. They go really fast. So finally, a reminder, Oakdale City Hall offices offers free disposal of unused and expired household medications for Washington County residents. We have 2 drop boxes located here at City Hall on the first floor near the police department. They're available Monday through Friday during business hours, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Drop-off of items is completely anonymous, no ID necessary. Also, names on your prescriptions do not need to be crossed off. It is a secure bin that gets confidentially disposed of by Washington County. Medications should be kept in the original container, if possible, or placed in a small bag. Items accepted in the bin include household prescriptions, over-the-counter, and pet medications. We just surpassed, I think, our first full year of having that service here at City Hall. Wildly successful. I think Washington County Sheriff's Office published that they collected something like 1,200 pounds of unused and unneeded medications. Obviously, we all know that far too many medications end up, going down the toilet, going down the sink. And so to have a safe space where those medications can be disposed of properly, keeping them out of our water system is incredibly important. It's so nice to see that people in our community are taking advantage of that. If you are wondering what's going to happen to those boxes when construction begins here at City Hall or the police department, we will be moving them to one of our fire stations, one of the South Fire Station on 15th Street, so that service will remain available even during construction. We want to keep that as an option for our residents. That's all I got. Let's pay some bills. Claims roster, January 14th through January 27th in front of us, $3.188 million and change. Council members, were there any claims we wanted to pull out for more information? All right, who wants to make the motion?
So moved. I'll do it. Approve the claims for the period January 14th, 2026 to January 27th, 2026 in the amount of $3,188,366.02.
Got to get those 2 pennies on there.
Yep.
Even though they don't even make pennies anymore. We had a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Bills are paid for another 2 weeks. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you and good night.